be performing well in the previous races I've commentated for the Tier 1 races. So let's see if I can recall those names once I see them once we're in qualifying.
Perfect. And let's just move on to qualifying as soon as we can. But with Singapore, it's just an amazing track. It's one of the only few
Be
street
performing well
circuits
in
that is
the
both
previous races
challenging
I've
and
commentated
sometimes fun to
for
watch.
the
I
Tier
think
1 races.
we've had
So
some good
let's
races in
see
Singapore
if
in the
I can
past few
recall
years
those
as well.
names once I see them. Ah, yes, Singapore is one of the few street circuits I actually enjoy watching. It's a good track, especially in the night time. It really brings out the prettiness of that is Formula One. And while we wait for the boys to start qualifying,
Yes.
we shall be.
Speaking of qualifying, let's go into it. You can continue, Nirma.
I don't have anything to speak then if we have qualifying underway. If we can see the screen.
Yes, you can see it now.
No, sir, I cannot, sir.
1 second.
There's a pause menu for some reason.
Yes, yes.
1 second is over, sir.
Mm.
And there's also chaos starting the stream. Amazing.
Oh no, chill, chill. It's nothing. Just had to do something here. Okay, ready. Ah,
Okay, so we are 1 minute into quali. Helium or Hacker is already DNF. That is a very good sign. And let's go down the order while I point out the drivers to look out for. Catty seemed to have a good performance every time we have raced in Tier 1. So Pre the Pro and Catty are the drivers to look out for. Akash Sonomane as well, but he seems to be involved in a few incidents, which kind of undermines his performance at the end of the day. Wizard of Oz had some hilarious moments as well as some good wheel to wheel battles. Keep an eye out on him for that as well. And the drive has been consistently doing well, at least in terms of where he's qualifying and where he's finishing, is Govind SSR. He seems to be not do well in qualifying, but then climb up the order in the race. So keep an eye out on Govind SSR as well.
Yep, that's actually a great, list. And let's see what this race can bring up. I think qualifying is very important for these drivers as well. It's more about setting up your good spots. So it's gonna be full full metal, or let's say the full throttle throughout the whole session. And again, we have one very long qualifying section. And we don't have Q1, Q2, Q3, right, this season?
This is a short quali.
Perfect. That's great. So that means 15 minutes of just pure quali. That's great. And right now we have on board Ritesh, who's on his out lap for the time. I don't think most of them are on any laps as such, right? Apart from Hacker, who is DNF'd.
Yeah, Helium has DNF for some odd reason. Let's hope it's not an issue from the game and probably his own decision to DNF for whatever reason it is. He's going to be starting for the back of the grid unless someone else DNFs. And we have a lot of drivers on the track right now as we are on board with, as you mentioned, Ritesh, who is going to set a lap. Let's be on board with him, and why don't you take us through the lap?
Yeah, well, again, it's a tricky first sector actually. There are a lot of corners that you'll be aware about in the first sector, and you think Ritesh he's maintained a good enough line, but here's where you need to maximize your exit because you're coming around the first DRS section of our lap, and again it's more about maximizing your top speed throughout this sector, and again getting a good entry speed for the next half of it. And again, that was a pretty decent how do I say turn into the apex. He didn't rely too much on the apex. I think Ritesh is definitely on for a safe lap for the time being. He just wants to see where his pace is, and he's not pushing it all out. You can see that he's being careful around the exits of the straight and the exits of the corner as well. And I see a yellow flag. I think that must be a car slowing down. But I think Ritesh is quite struggling a lot with his inputs. I think he's definitely having to make some adjustments, some corrections throughout the corners. I definitely see him twitching that wheel a lot. And as we see him again, it's more about managing your exit speed, more about managing your throttle output out of a corner. And he is doing a good enough job right now. And we have our first person to set the fastest lap at 131, but I think a 131 is easily beatable at this stage as we see Ritesh coming around the corner, and he is P2 for the time being.
Yeah, well, expect some quicker lap times because the tier 2 boys in the race 6 hours earlier managed to do a 29.8 as the pole lap time. So yeah, these guys can easily do a 29.5. These are pretty racy, pacey people. But pretty scrappy lap from Ritesh. He can do better, obviously. Joe's a hero, a quick guy. He set a 31.2, and now King James 6 provisional pole with a 30.2 already there. At the second fastest lap of the Tier 2 boys, we have Aradhya with the pole position. Correction, provisional pole with a 28.8. There you go.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's definitely what we're hoping to see. Like those are the times that we're hoping to see. And Aradhya definitely a great qualifier. I always feel like Aradhya has more to show for in quali than in terms of race pace. He's definitely an amazing qualifier, and yeah, that's definitely the mark we're looking for. I think, but I still think we can. I still think these boys can do a little bit better. I mean, you see Pre the Pro. I mean, he's attacking those corners and those exits. He's not leaving nothing to the mark, and it's 29.132. It's actually quite close, but I still think there's a lot left. And I think, Nirma, if I'm not wrong, I believe like these drivers right now, they're definitely being a bit more safe, right? Because you don't want to DNF yourself quite early in a qualifying. That's the worst thing that you can do in a quali session is you DNF yourself. Oh, and Catty definitely goes a little wide there around the corner exit. I think that must have cost him. Oh, and that's definitely contact with the wall, and I think that's just his quali lap over with. I don't think he's gonna do too much with that quali lap right now.
I mean, yeah, in terms of the street circuit, you would want to qualify better. But then Singapore is one of those street circuits where it's quite easy, not as easy as other street circuits, but it's relatively easy to get some overtakes done, at least under DRS. DRS train is still an issue here, but then I would say you would want to risk it if you think you have the pace and you ultimately DNF to chase that race pace. It's all good, I would say. At least at a banker lap in, get a lap in, and then you can start pushing. That's what I would expect from the top five guys, at least.
Yeah,
I
definitely. I
would,
think
yeah, I wouldn't sulk a lot if I'm one of the guys who DNF while setting a quali lap. That's okay. At least don't DNF in the race.
oh yeah, true. That's more damaging. That's yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. But yeah, let's see what these boys can pull up. And coming to the point of Singapore, I think Singapore is very much like a combination between Monaco and maybe like a circuit like Baku. It is tight in some spaces, but it's very open in the others, and it's more open towards the DRS sections. That's where you can see most of the overtakes happen. I definitely think that we have a race to look out for. It's not going to be extremely boring. It's not all about qualifying. It's about the race as well. You need to maintain race pace as well.
Now we have four drivers of DNF: Josie Hero, ABD28, Helium, also known as Hacker, and Shub Kumar.
That's actually quite a lot of DNFs considering that it's only been 5 minutes in quali. I wonder if there was any damage or was there. I think Jose definitely had damage, or that's why he had to retire off. But I wonder if the other drivers had any damage, or is this just an issue or a glitch with the system?
Yeah, well, F1 is pretty notorious in that regard. We have had multiple restarts in the Tier 1 in the previous races. Tier 2 as well. This is a corner you would want to look out for because we had a lot of incidents here in Tier 1. If the drivers actually look at the stream from Tier 1, they'll know what corners to look out for. But then again, Tier 2 was a pretty wet and torrential race. I'm expecting this race to be pretty dry, so these guys will have an opportunity to use DRS for overtaking. Meanwhile, the guys in Tier 2 had no DRS till the end of the race, and we also had three safety cars and probably, I think, 8 DNFs with one DSQ as well.
I think moreover, I feel like the more overtaking opportunities that we'll see is down towards turn 7 and turn 14 are quite quite the number there. But yeah, those are the more how to say those are the corners that follow up to the DRS section. So those are the corners that come up next towards the DRS. I think 7 is the first one that comes after the first DRS zone, and 14 is a next corner that comes after the second DRS zone. And I think 14 is mainly just there to set up the drivers for the overtaking spot, but it also helps to keep them all bunched together. And I think you're right about that aspect, that the DRS train could be an issue for this race, but that's more to figure out in the race itself.
As we're on board, Lean Sipper, who is yet to set up a lap with four drivers out of qualifying. He can potentially get just three positions just by setting a lap itself. Hopefully, wants to set a quick lap as well, not just set a lap. As we have yellow flags for cars slowing down, Lean Sipper into sector 3. He has a car in front. Hopefully, he can use the DRS to catapult him to do a faster lap, but he's closing the gap. That's not what he wants. That's going to compromise him into the corners. Yes, it is. Never mind. The car actually notices Lean Sipper's existence behind him and backs off. Lean Sipper goes quite well over there. He is going to be entering the area which has been altered in real life as well as F1 2023. Thank you, Codemasters, for altering the track as well. Now that we are coming to the end of the lap,
Oh, yeah.
right there. That's exactly what you do not want to do under race conditions.
What did you
And he
yell
goes
there?
P6.
Yeah, that's definitely very, very close. I think he was about to lose it there and caught it at the last second. My God, I think that rear suspension is very loose on that car right now. And looking on board of course, Aradhya, the one that's been on pole for so long. And again, he definitely wants to increase that gap just to have a safer, because it's still 3/10 of a second that's differentiating him between the Red Bull of Free the Pro and the Ferrari of Ferrari. Again, somehow Ferrari is on pole. That's still great to see. Definitely Aradia helping out the dreams of some heartbroken Ferrari fans. But let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can give us a better lap in the end of it as he comes around the final corner, gets the power down, and is he on pole? Yes, he is, and by a marginal gap. That not marginal, actually, quite a sufficient gap. That's easily 6/10 right now, and that's going to be 5/10. And so it's going to save him a lot of work towards the end. But again, we still have one more flyer that we can expect. And as we see Pri coming around the corner, he's maximizing more on, and he gets provisional pole for Pri the Pro 128.584. Looks like Aradhya's lap was a little short there, but I think Pri just pulled out a magnificent lap from that car right there.
There's one thing you're wrong over there, and that is that nothing can fix the heartbreak that us tifosis have experienced after what Ferrari have done multiple years over the years. But then amazing lap from Pri the Pro.
Yeah, and who's the guy who gave him the Red Bull? Can we like stop having Red Bulls on poles? That's definitely something to look out for. And I think the fact that Helium at the moment, if he is he there at the moment, Helium in the race right now? That's Hacker, right? Yeah, the fact that Helium isn't here in quali is a shame, because I would definitely love to see what he could have done as well up at the top. But it's definitely looking like it's between Pre the Pro and Aradhya at this stage. And we'll definitely see what Dark Knight can do right now, because he's on a flyer as well. He's definitely hoping to set up a lap. And how much ERS does he have left? Not too much. I think it's at the edge of his hot lap, and he has one final corner to maximize on. And will it be P4? No, it's just P7 for Darky. And that's still a decent time, but I think there's more that we can expect from Dark Knight. He's definitely a fantastic racer for the midfield, and he can definitely get it up to P4 or P5. He can push it a bit more. Moving on to Faizan. Again, Faizan getting into the pits, definitely getting ready for the last lap. I think everyone wants to go out for that last lap, and that's going to be very hectic with traffic. I think Singapore is one of those tracks where you need to manage traffic well to make sure you can maximize on quality. And as we're on board, Mohan MR9, as we see him approach his hot lap again, I think he's being very careful with his throttle inputs. Is he even pushing at this stage? I wonder if he is, but it looks like he is pushing, but being extremely careful with his car at this stage. I think the throttle inputs are very, very lenient right now at this stage. And yeah, it didn't feel like he was pushing, and it's definitely going into the pits right now. And we're on board BK19 in the McLaren. The McLaren in P15 and P19, that's definitely not the best result. But let's see if BK9, now when he gets a bit of a rear slip, you could see those tires definitely, losing control or lose the car losing traction on the rears there. And yeah, BK19 definitely struggling a little with traction. I think his setup isn't fine tuned to the circuit yet. And it's so very, very wide line that he picks up through the corners right now as he's on the DRS straight, heading towards turn 14. And yeah, we're just waiting to see what BK19 can do. I think he could definitely be looking at one-upping his teammate. But how far can he go up? Is he going to be P10? Is he going to be P13? Let's see as he rounds up to the final corner. Again, shifts down to fifth, sixth, seventh, and it is P10. Decent time from the McLaren, considering his issues with the setup. And who else is? Oh, and the McLaren loses it. Is there big damage on the car? As Ritesh, let's see. Do we have telemetry? Can we see any outboard cameras, anything like that, just to see if we can spot any damage on the winglets? Oh, that looks like a. Is that a front wing gone? Yeah, that is right. That's definitely a front wing gone. Yep. Oh, and that's close between the Aston Martin and the McLaren. That was very close.
Another
Yeah.
thing you might have missed was Ritesh getting a five-place grid penalty as well
For what?
for apparently blocking under quali lap.
Oh, okay. Is that in this game? Is that actually introduced in the game finally? That's actually pretty cool.
That
Okay.
has been there for the past few titles in F1. If you do
I
block
have
under quali, you will get a five-place grid penalty.
I haven't seen that the past few years, but I don't know why, but I've
I
never had
am the
that situation.
recipient of that very award in F1
Uh,
2020.
okay, that's great then. Okay, well, 5 second dead penalty, that's a 5 place dead penalty, that's gonna cost Ritesh a lot, considering that he was definitely looking strong, strong towards the back end of the mission. He's gonna push to the very end right now, and as we're on board Aradhya, again, it's just going to be one final lap for Aradhya. I think Aradhya is definitely looking not to have any issues with traffic, and that's where he's sort of maximizing right now. Oh, and that is a little close for comfort, but looks like luckily the McLaren just moved out of the way as quickly as possible, and Aradhya is on for his hot lap. And again, he's being not so conservative right now. He wants to push and he knows he has that one lap to push for. He knows his target. It's 128.584. He has to make it more than, he has to push his car a little bit more to get the timeout. His track has the grip. It's just his confidence now that has to carry, that'll have to carry him towards the finish line. As we see Sai Tarun, the first one to cross the line, along with BK19, Ritesh, and Wizard, who's in the pits right now. And that's it, folks. That's most of the qualifying done. It's just the cars that are outside right now, including Aradhya, Pre Pro, and Catty, who is going to snatch pole for the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's see as we're on board Aradhya towards the final laps. Let's see if he sets a bar for provisional pole. And that's very quick. That's a decent lap. I think there's still a bit more left, but 128.455, that's not bad. But let's see what Pre has in store for us right now. I think there's definitely one person that can steal pole from Aradhya today, and that's Pre the Pro. And let's see if he's got it. I wish we had telemetry to see if he was at a fastest sector, but can we zoom? Uh, okay, let's see what that will pop up later. But I guess yes, we're on the final sector. I think the final sector having this straight, I don't know. I feel like it just makes the track a bit more simple, less technical, but I guess it helps with racing as well. And we have Free coming up to this line. Definitely gets pole 128.444. That is extremely close between these drivers. I've never seen such a close qualifying in my life, but that's pole for Pre, and that's an amazing qualifying for both the Red Bull and the Ferrari. Very close, inch perfect to the end.
I also want to point out the difference of lap times or deltas between the first two drivers and the rest of the grid, between P1, P2, and P3. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think P1, P2, and P3 is fine. It's just P3 and P4 that's like they're in the league of their own right now.
Well, if there's anything to say after looking at this qualifying, is that we are in for a treat under racing conditions.
Yeah, definitely. I think we will have something to look forward to in this race. I think it's definitely a fight between the pro, and Aratia if, again, Helium can somehow make his way from the back of the grid. But that's the problem. This is Singapore. It's not that easy to make it back from the grid, and you can be stuck in a DRS train if you're not careful. And that could be a problem for Helium. I think we were expecting a lot from Helium coming into the race, but I think Helium's going to have a tough race to get up to P3 at least.
Looking at this rain is giving me weird deja vu vibes from what I saw in the afternoon. I do not like where this is going, but then I have some hope in the Tier 1 drivers to keep it clean and keep it on the track. As we now wait for the drivers to make some final few adjustments in their setup, and then we'll be going through a formation lap, which takes the drivers around the track and a chance to heat up their tires. If they touch each other, they get disqualified from the formation lap and then reset back to grid. With ice cold tires and under rainy conditions, that's not what you want. And then we'll be going through 31 laps of the circuit as Lane Zipper leaves the session. We see the Red Bull of the Pro, the Ferrari of Arabia, who has been falling down the grid. What is going on? That's very interesting. Is this? Are we already in the racing conditions? All right, this is going to be a lobby restart apparently because they obviously didn't get a formation lap, and now drivers are crashing out purposefully. So that is a session restart underway. That makes it 100% track record of session restarts in Tier 1. Not a record I am proud of calling out, but yes, it is what it is at this point of time. Hello. Yeah. Unless the race actually ended with this quickly, then we have Lean Sipper who has won the race. Yes, we are still here.
And sorry for the delay there, folks. We just had a bit of an issue with with F1. I think we just had a formation lab that was completely skipped over, and we went to the race. I think that's what happened there. But we're gonna be back soon, and we're just finalizing the last few things. I think they're setting up the grid right now, as per the quali, and we'll have racing commencing shortly. But one of the sad things that I think we'll miss about is if they're going to still keep rain or not. I think if they're not going to keep it rainy, I think they're just going to set it up as whatever comes up next, which could be dry as well. But I hope that they keep a wet start so that we can get this race started under wet conditions. It's going to be very insane to see a wet start in Singapore because those first corners are very tricky on the wet, and you just have to be very, very, very close with your braking with that.
Yep.
What?
Singapore wet can be very, very tricky, and it can be very, very long as well, which is not so nice for us,
Oh yeah,
for us streamers.
definitely. I mean, I think when I think of a wet Singapore, I think about the actual race last year that we have. But the only good thing about that race was like Perez was leading it, so you could deal with it being slow
Yeah.
because you knew that Perez was going to win it. Which again, somehow Perez is always the circuit, street circuit god, but this season didn't turn up. How do you feel about that, Samax?
And that race was good. I was there, literally. But yeah, I had fun.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah, you were there. Didn't you leave the race for
No,
some
yeah,
concert or something?
no, not really. It's just that the ticket I had was a walk around ticket, so I couldn't really get a nice stand to go sit at. So, right beside the track, there was a huge screen. So I'm right beside the track, so I can hear the cars go by and stuff. And there's a huge screen, so I just decided to go sit in front of the screen.
Imagine paying for
Hey! Don't hate on me. See, as long
and
as
then
I heard
not.
the cars, it was good enough. Because honestly,
Yeah, that's why.
I'm not a fan of crowds, and that's kind of the reality. Like, if you don't get a grandstand ticket there, you have to squeeze in and stand with people, and that kind of eats me. I
Okay.
personally
Well,
don't do
that's
that.
but I find it very funny. Like just buying a ticket to watch F1 and you're just hearing
Yeah,
F1 and
bro,
watching it
I
on
have
this.
to say that ticket is bloody worth because you get to watch a GT3 race, you get to watch
Oh yeah,
a
definitely.
GT3
I
race,
think I'll agree with you on that.
a GT3
Yeah, I'll agree with
race,
you on that. Yeah.
Formula. What is that? Is it Formula W? Is it what's that? What it's called before?
Oh, yeah. Formula. Is it Formula? Yeah, I think it's Formula W or something. And you're
I can't remember
wait,
the one
what is
that
it?
went
Let me
bankrupt.
check. No, let me just Google this
Then
because we
there
don't be
was
wrong.
the race itself, and on top of that, a damn Kid Leroy concert and a Green Day
Yeah,
concert
it's
there.
a W series. That's what
W
they
series,
call it. It's not
W
Formula
series, yeah.
W. Yeah, Formula W. That's the next thing they're gonna call it when they try to do this again in like
Yeah,
10 years,
dude.
10, 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Formula W.
there was a Kid Leroy concert and a Green Day concert as well, dude. You can't beat that, dude. That kind of value. But
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think
during
I
the
agree with
Kid
you on
Leroy
that. Like,
concert, it was like a lot of heavy rain. So I think it's because of the heavy rain. I fell sick for like 2 weeks.
I think a part of the fun about Singapore was sort of the rain because it does. I think these new cars with the rain, it just makes it very difficult to overtake. And I think it was raining so heavily that it was extreme wets at the time.
Yeah,
So that just made the race even more slower, even more difficult. I
rain
think
just
we saw.
makes. Yeah, continue.
Sorry, yeah, I was just saying we saw a few people make mistakes, like Hamilton, Verstappen. I mean, you don't see those people making mistakes in the rain, and yet they did. That was pretty fun. Yeah.
But yeah, rain, I would say it makes the lives of Formula One drivers quite hard as these cars don't have traction control, so they're gonna have to control all of that with their feet. It's not like GT3. You can just dial up TC once once it starts raining or anything like that. Formula One drivers quite hard
Yeah, well, we didn't have TC for a long
as
time right now. I think
these cars don't have
all our
traction
drivers are sort
control,
of
so
accustomed
they're
to
gonna have
having no
to
TC,
control
Yeah,
all of that
basically.
with their
definitely.
feet. It's not
Mhm.
like GT3. You can just dial up TC
I
once
think Tier 1 is definitely
you have
accustomed to having no
once
TC. And I
it
think
starts raining
if
or
I
whatever.
ever,
The
like,
next thing they're
normally I
gonna
used
call it
to
when
use
they try
TC
to
as
do
well,
this again in like
Yeah,
10
just,
years.
dude.
while I was racing. But then when I shifted to 22, I just turned off TC. And I think racing definitely becomes more interesting when you have TC off because your senses are just so I say heightened. Of course, you could spin a lot more, but then it's also a lot more fun to
Yeah,
worry about throttle input, having more control over the car. It just gives you more freedom
but I
to
feel
push,
yeah,
basically.
but I feel like F22 pushed it a bit with the
Yeah,
whole so-called make driving very difficult
yeah,
because it made
definitely,
it a
definitely.
lot more difficult for the casuals.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Controller Boys did not have too much fun on that game. I think that game definitely had some goods. I think racing, like considering the cars that we had, racing close was very easy in those cars. I think that's what we hope for.
Yeah,
But then racing on that game is difficult because it's so hard to control your car. The weight is enormous. Like the whole weight of the car, you can feel the car being heavy than the other. I think I was playing a Fun 2020 a few days ago,
mm,
and you could just feel the cars being very light. And on top of that, if you play with the classic cars, 2007, 2008, those cars are just light. Like if
mm,
you could just maybe if a gust of wind comes, you could lose stability, aero stability on that car. It's just way too light, but it's fun to drive. I think definitely with Formula One and setting on the right track of making it the racing closer, it's just one small issue is that the cars are just too wide right now. And it with the cars being so wide and with street circuits, being more and more injected into this
yeah,
new era of Formula One, I think they need to make the cars shorter and less wide so that we
yeah,
can start having some good races in these street circuits. I think Monaco definitely is a good track. It's just suffering because the cars are too wide, and if someone like let's say a certain Fernando Alonso
mm.
knows how to defend well, then he's gonna keep everyone around him towards the back. No one's gonna pass him at all.
He did that in 2021, right?
Yeah,
The
he
one that
did.
where it really pissed off Hamilton.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
Fernando on the same time.
yeah,
If anyone's gonna piss off Hamilton, it's Fernando.
yeah. I mean, you have a point there. Like the cars have gotten smaller, but I guess it clearly shows there's not enough. And speaking of like street track stuff, like I like the Saudi track, but what I don't like is that they had a chance to build a purpose-built track, and they built
Mhm.
some a
Yeah,
street track as a purpose-built
yeah.
track.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, I as like even like let's say if I was out because I used to stay there, like where the street track was built. But I'd prefer to literally, if I was a big Formula One fan, I'd prefer to ride out for like hours to go in the middle of nowhere on a purpose-built track to see racing because
Ah,
I know at least I'll get better racing over there in the
yeah,
purpose-built track rather than in the street track. That's what Formula One needs to realize is street tracks are good for the normal consumers. But if you're a diehard F1 fan, you want to see better racing, then purpose-built tracks are the way to go. And we had some amazing purpose-built tracks. I think we had Malaysia. I mean, Malaysia. Why did they get rid of
yeah.
that track?
I mean, yeah, like people like to confuse like racing with chaos. People get entertained by a race and think it has good racing, but the truth is, like, I feel like in Saudi, there's never really been good racing. It's just very chaotic to the point where actually it's kind of like entertaining.
Yeah, and I just realized halfway through this is turned into a podcast right now.
Yeah,
Welcome
yeah.
to IRC's first podcast of the day.
See,
Yeah, but
I can give you an update. The good news is we have loaded in, and another good news is it is the rain has been kept alive, and the bad
oh,
news
that's
is we're
great.
going to be here for 2 hours then.
Okay, well, yeah, definitely looking forward to that rainy race. At least if it rains at the start, that's fine. If it goes to dry towards the end,
Oh
I'm
yeah, that's
fine
the
with that as well.
best.
Because no one wants to see a rainy track all the time. Like people get bored by that as well. I mean, we pray for him, but then the thing is actually what we pray for is a wet to dry or dry to wet condition race, something that mixes up the grid and the strategy.
Yeah,
I think we've been getting a lot of that recently in Formula One. I think rain has definitely been a part of
yeah,
almost every race in Formula One these past few days, and it's getting interesting. Even rain on Saturday makes everything much more lively
yeah,
and
yeah,
fun because it
exactly. Because
throws everything else.
yeah, rain on Saturday, it's so weird because everyone is prepared to do dry
Yeah,
quali. Then there's that one back market team is like, yes, we've made a wet setup. Our time has come.
You
Those
know, it reminds me of like I don't know why it is, but you know, you remember like Italian GP back in 2009, I think, where Seb won it, and I think that's because they kind of set
they
they
gambled or
set the
something.
car
Yeah,
up
they
for
gambled or something. Yeah,
they
yeah,
gambled on wets basically. They
yeah.
saw like the rain clouds and they were like, we're going to do a wet setup,
It
and that's how they sort of
it reminds me of Williams 2021 also. It's Spa, where
definitely,
where
yeah.
Russell qualified P2 and even Latifi got P7 or something, I think.
I think Williams definitely have been shining a lot since 2021 and
Hmm.
2020, yeah, 2021, 2022, 22. They've been having a decent, how to say, resurgence ever
Yeah,
since that team
definitely.
was sold off to the company, to the other third party company. But definitely,
Definitely.
it's good to see Williams in a good state. They've been in a mighty bad condition since 2018, 19, and 20, and I think it's good to see them come back. And I think right now, definitely like at the lower half of the midfield, which is great because they're putting up some good performances, or more
Sorry, Hap. Sorry to
accurately,
cut you off,
yeah,
but the race has started.
perfect. Let's go.
I expected there to be a quali lap, but there is sorry, a formation lap, but there isn't. So
Wait, it has started.
yeah,
Okay, we
kind of
have
is my fault for
pre.
not paying attention.
Just okay, and we see Arathia definitely fighting right now with Catty. Catty's on the inside, hoping to get a move done on Arathia, and I think Catty's got the move done. Arathia definitely has to concede that possession. He's lost one possession at this, and Catty's right behind, 1.2 seconds, 1.5 seconds the gap. Pre is definitely not leaving anything off right now. He is definitely on, and there's a safety car. What is crash? Who's crashed? Wizard OF
Wizard
has
and
crashed, and
Aradia,
there's a
something happened to
safety
Aradia.
car. Yeah.
No, 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 no.
Wait. What happened? Damage? What is?
Oh,
Is
it's
this a
a lot
glitch?
of give back position kind of shit. Oh,
Yeah. That's stupid. Ah, that's
let's go lap 150 car. Only 31 more 50 cars to go.
more importantly, look at where Helium is. One lap and he's up in P11 right now.
Yeah.
God, Helium is definitely looking to maximize. I think safety car would help Helium a little bit more. I think he can definitely get 5 more positions in the next 2 or 3 laps if he keeps pushing.
Actually,
Oh wow,
I feel like maybe it might not, because it's still, but it just keeps everyone still bunched up together. It's just that maybe
definitely it
can't,
keeps
but it's just that
everyone,
he can't race right now. He just has to be a bit more patient in that regard. Yeah, Raja
okay,
has to be a bit more patient.
yeah.
So there's a run into the back of Catty. Oh, Catty's in P6.
Wait, Cathy is there?
Yeah, why is Catty in P6? Both of us realized at the same time.
I think when you pointed it out, I was like, wait,
I'm like, wait,
what did Ashley just say?
when I was saying Catty, I'm like,
Oh,
why am I reading Catty? He's
wait,
pitting.
Cathy's pitting?
I think wing
Is it
damage. I think he
damage?
ran into the back of someone.
Let's see.
Or
Is
is
he
he
going on
like.
interest?
No, I think this is
Is
too
he
wet
gambling
for
on interest?
inters.
No, too wet.
Wait, what if.
Damage, yeah. It's an unpaid gone. Yeah, I see it. It's definitely
No,
damage.
but the damage doesn't look that bad, does it? Or is it? It must.
No, it was the complete unpaid gone on the right side.
Huh,
The
but
right
is it
right
really
unpaid was
worth
completely gone.
justifying to. Was it that bad to the point he had to pit? Because I think 23
Oh
is one
yeah,
of those
true. He's
games.
in P15. Eesh, yeah.
And that in
Damn.
Singapore, P13 in Singapore is a bad thing.
I think Catty just didn't want to lose up any more pace. I think he knew Aradhya was right at the back of him, but I bet Aradhya is still pitting as well. So
Mm.
he's technically not losing too many positions, and I think he has the confidence that he knows he can get the back markers pretty quick. And I think he's just finalized that he's not going to P1 right now. I think pitting at that stage means that P1 is out of the cards. But I mean, anything could happen. It's still a wet race here, Starbucks. Anything could happen. There could be a
Yeah.
safety car later on in the race. This could be a genius pro level move or something. We never know. Anything
Oh,
can happen
dude,
from
we
there.
missed voting. Aradia also pitted with the Catty.
Yeah. I told you, Aradhya is also there right behind him. Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah,
yeah.
both of them had wing damage. Yeah. Both of them went in the pits at the same time, left the pits at the same time. So it's a wing damage situation. Yeah.
Uh,
I wonder if they both collided with each other. I think they could have.
they could
I
have.
would.
Yeah, but no, I think it could have maybe. But yeah, since we're under safety car, we can read through some of the comments. One of the comments left by Dev or Rizal is they will never cater to die-hard fans from a financial point of view, which I think we can definitely agree because
Yeah, definitely.
right now F1 is in the phase of just trying to bring as many fans as possible, just fans, like, or just try to get as much attention as possible. So at that point,
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
You
continue.
do. I don't think they realize the fact that the reason there's so many fans right now in Formula One is because of the 2021 season, because of the title fight between Hamilton and Verstappen. Like everything became very, very serious with F1 at that point. Like everyone just was talking about it because people went
Mm.
insane. Like after 7 years almost of dominance, people just finally got not 7 years, I would say 5 years, 2016.
Mm.
5 years of dominance, people finally got like a championship fight, and that's what boosted
Yeah, no,
everyone
you're right.
to
Seven
come back. I
years.
think
2014 and 2015 wasn't it? And nobody else stood a chance.
2016, where Rosberg won with Hamilton, like that
Yeah,
was
but
still a title
2014 and
fight, right?
2015 are also years of dominance, no?
Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so 7 years. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I mean, like people were just wanting, and I think also with the fact that Formula One started to become better in 2019, I think that's when I came back. Like at the end of 2019, like a person who's didn't watch 2012, 20, I didn't watch 2013, 2014, and 15, 16, 17, 18. Never watched those seasons at all. And I just saw one Brazil race in 29. I was like, that seems pretty fun. And I was like, I'll watch a bit more later. And I
Yes,
started
the one
watching
race where
highlights and then,
Albon gets taken out.
yeah. At that stage, I didn't know Albon, and I was
Yes,
like, "Oh damn,
entertainment.
this color sense is pretty decent driving." And
All right.
he got P3, and then Gasly also gets P2, and that my god, that race was something else. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think they started making very good decisions in 19. 20 was also a good year for them. 21 just posted them. I think I saw a graphic where F1 was probably the one of the best resurging sports of all time, where they got so many
Like
fans
growth.
in a very short span. Yeah, exactly in terms of growth. Yeah.
But yeah,
So I think yeah, I have to agree with the comment. Like they won't adhere to us because we'll be
yeah,
here regardless of whatever they do. We're just addicted to this thing.
yeah.
They
Because
know it.
see, whether we're diehard fans or no fans, at the end of the day, we're all numbers in a spreadsheet. As long as the
True.
numbers go up for them, it's good for them. Even though if, uh, uh, even though us, we as people like us might like the sport less than this.
Yeah, I think that's that's how they judge development, or that's how they judge decisions. Are we still growing in terms of our fan base? If we are, that's a good decision. That's what
Mm,
they think at least.
mm.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, I
And
think
we're
safety car is done.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done. We're done with the safety car, and we're right on board right now. Pre again. This is the part where everyone slows down to bunch up a little bit more, and I think the last car, which is a McLaren,
It's
is
way
quite
too
far, so
far.
he won't be joining.
Yeah.
But everyone else is close enough to start this race.
Bro
I
is
think
in
5 seconds
Malaysia.
the last one. And that's on. We're full throttle right now. Pre good gets it done. Is starting the race, and he's got a very good jump on Akash Surumane and Sai Tarun definitely on the back of Akash Surumane. Akash Surumane did not have a great restart, and I see a lead sniper definitely thinking to go for a move that was very close, but that's definitely well held by Sai Tarun as he keeps P3, and there's contact between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin. Was that contact? I think so.
I think it's a bit of
Definitely
oversteer, I think, or traction loss.
could be, yeah. It could be a save as well. There's a virtual safety car. Why?
Oh,
What happened?
I have no
Game. Wait, this game. I think this game is about to do
Oh,
an
it's safety
FI
car, it's a
move,
full
and they're
safety
just
car.
gonna put what? I might as well just red flag it. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Yep, I wonder it's gonna be a 2 hour stream.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 2-hour podcast, but look at this. Like
Yeah.
it's just gonna be talking about fucking. Sorry, We're just gonna be talking about F1 right now. But yeah, I think I agree with that point. They're not gonna listen to diehard fans. They're just gonna see where the flow of fans is, and if the still keeps coming in, then they'll just keep putting in street tracks because apparently that's all F1 is right now. It's just adhering to American
Yeah.
fans more.
I have to say, I am not proud of this lobby because,
Yeah, not
yeah, for if 2 safety cars, 4 laps, people might say I'm being a bit hypocritical, but
no.
yeah.
I think actually you're wrong. It's not two safety cars. It's two safety cars and one virtual safety car. Let's not forget about the virtual safety car. Damn. Why? I just want to know why. Like I didn't see any contact. Did the did the game think the oversteer was too much for the game? That the safety car was necessary to fix it? Like what is this?
Yeah. Well,
Speaking about people not listening to the fans, let's talk about EA for a second and this
fair enough.
marvelous
For once, you'll
game.
actually stay on topic. We'll shift to another topic, which is EA. Yes.
Yeah. EA, when are you gonna start listening to your fans and actually give us a decent game?
Well,
You know,
actually,
they're
there are some slightly good news. Apparently, there are rumors that they're completely going to change the game engine for the next race. So for once, it's not.
next race.
Sorry, not today. Sorry, the next game.
Next.
So it's not going to be like a usual rinse and repeat. So
No, but I think their whole ideology with sports game is wrong. I think they should always think about making sports game in like one sort of how to say mm,
one game, but
what's the
keep
word for it?
bringing a DLCs for
Yeah,
every new year. Yes,
exactly,
but the thing is,
exactly.
if I'm not wrong, I've heard that first of all, this is way more profitable than that easily.
I know, but come on,
This is
man.
way
It's
profitable,
just
and maybe F1
it,
themselves have the say in this.
it also helps with the fact that there'll be less bugs if they focus on one game. Like up throughout the years, they're
Yeah.
fixing the bugs as well as
Basically, go
introducing
for more
DLCs.
like a ACC model.
Exactly, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And again, it works for ACC. I mean, it's pretty how stable that game is from time to time,
and
and I
there's a
think they've
constant,
perfected
it
that
has a
model.
constant growing fan base who are relatively happy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They need to start changing their pricing model from greed to please make a decent game once in a while.
The thing is,
Please.
people they've realized this with FIFA, where like they know no matter how bad the game is, people will still continue to buy it.
I've actually stopped the loop right now. Somehow escaped that matrix, and I've decided not to buy this game because I know they're just gonna do the rinse and repeat. That's the
Yeah,
only thing that's different is basically the liveries, and
yeah.
that's just not fair enough. Like
Mm,
I'm out. Bye bye. You've lost one fan at least for the time being.
but yeah.
I'll definitely come in if a game definitely looks like it's made a huge leap where the
Mm,
gameplay is amazing and things are something new has been introduced. But as long as they're just doing the same thing, rinse and repeat, it's just not our thing right now. I think
wait,
they're gonna start.
is you an AI?
What?
This guy's still so far back. I'm curious why.
I
Anyways,
mean,
let's talk about the last race, which was Monza. Did you watch
I
that?
mean Monza in real life.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, I sadly I didn't, man. I missed it.
Oh,
I
dude,
watched
you
I think
missed like the
volley.
one actual race that happened where there's actual
Yeah, I saw it,
racing.
bro. I saw Ferraris. I would have lost it if I saw the Ferraris actually racing. I would have been like, why are you guys racing each other? Why are you taking so much risk? Leclerc just stay behind for one goddamn second, please.
Yeah, I have to say
Like
I
the
enjoyed it.
guy was
I,
sending it. I mean,
I,
I get it. Yeah.
you had your
The
mental
neutral
state at
fans,
stake. I didn't.
yeah, I think the neutral fans must have loved it because it was pretty decent racing. Like it was on the limit, but it was perfectly like right below the limit
Mm,
where it was like unsafe. It was just amazing to see it
mm,
from a normal perspective. But you know, the lucky thing is, the first thing I saw is the results because I was like, I want to see where Ferrari finished. I was like, Preeti is fine, okay, realistic, realistic, and we didn't expect too much from Ferrari over there. And then I watched the highlights and I was like, what were they even doing at this stage? Like, if
yeah.
I was watching that in live, I would have lost my mental state. I'd be like, Ferrari, you're gonna lose a 3-4,
Yeah.
and this is gonna cost a lot. But you
I
know,
was surprised they didn't try to put Science for an undercut the moment he lost the position so that they could have at least sort of retained the lead.
Uh, I think Science did a decent job until the lockup
No,
because I
I
was
think
there
Science did
until the lockup.
I think Science did an insane race. He had really good pace all along.
Compared to Leclerc, sure, yeah, but I feel like more compared to Verstappen. I think Verstappen is definitely on another level right now in this
Mm,
season. Like somehow that car and Verstappen are just, uh, God mode right now. Like I won't even say it's all the car because we see Perez struggling with it. I think it's more like Verstappen and that car is now like a perfect synergy where basically they're gonna achieve all wins from this point onwards, and I'll be there to see it. Like we as fans already have. situated in my mind that P1 is not really there at all. It's all about P2, P3, P4 where they finish. That's because Max is already gonna win the race.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, also it's definitely a good race because there was sort of like battles for certain positions throughout the pack. There were battles for
I,
P1, there was
you know
battles
what?
for P2 and 3, there was battles for P4, 5. And Hamilton making
I
a decent
think
comeback and making the alternate strategy work.
yeah, that was a decent race for Hamilton. I think considering where he started from, decent
Yeah.
race. But one thing I just like to say is this season, although it built a very big gap between like Max and the Red Bulls and the other teams, but it also closed it. Like it made the racing very close between the midfield and all
Yeah, yeah,
everyone else. Like
I would agree with that.
Ferrari, Mercedes, and what's the other team? McLaren and Aston. Like all four of these teams have been fighting with each other throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
Like sometimes some car is good, sometimes the other car is good, and it's very fun to watch this. It reminds me of 2021. The only difference is
Actually, no, I
2021
would
had
say
a
it reminds more
championship
of
involved.
2020
Listen,
where
yeah,
the
sorry.
three midfield teams were fighting with Renault, McLaren, and Racing Point.
No, no, sorry, I quoted the wrong season. It's 2012 I was talking about.
Oh.
You know, where 2012 and 2010, where there were
Mm.
multiple teams fighting for the front, and it
Yeah.
was like some teams are good on one track, some teams are good on the
Yeah,
other,
yeah, yeah.
and I think that always adds a lot of
See,
amazing,
you
interesting.
remove Red Bull at the top, and it's a perfect season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I completely agree with that. We remove Red Bull completely, and this
Oh,
season would
there
have
goes
been.
some Haas. Interesting.
That's definitely amazing line from Jose. You know,
That
it's
is
he's taking a shortcut, bro.
that is a Russell
Taking
Imola
a shortcut.
2021
Yeah.
moment,
Oh my
spinning under
god.
safety car.
Oh my god, safety cars in this lab.
Oh,
That's
there's really bad
not good
timing as
for us.
well.
Eh? Wait, who was that by
King
the way?
James,
Was
King
it just
James.
King James? Damn.
I think he catch up in time. Yeah, he can easily, but he lost a
I
lot of
thought is
positions.
no, but if he has damage, can we check if he's got damage or something?
I don't think he does.
I think he must. He was
Oh,
definitely facing the wall. Is it King James or is it Faisal?
sorry. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
No, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He can catch up. Yeah, yeah, he's definitely catching up. Okay, let's see what Pre has in store. I mean, I, I, I think this game also looks slightly better than the last one. I don't know why. They
Hmm.
just made it a little bit more prettier, I
I
think.
mean, obviously, a newer game has to look better, right?
But I don't know. They have been degrading. Okay, now let's just stop talking about the old games and now let's talk about the race as we finally have another racing lap on board, and we see 1 second of a gap from Pre. Pre is definitely nailing those safety car restarts, and you can see this man is definitely in for the win right now. He's not gonna stop until the end. Look at the traction. Look at the traction, or look at the level. Wait. Okay.
Sorry, there's something
Where
happening here. That's why I had to go
yeah,
back.
that's fine. Actually, that's pretty decent racing from Mohan and Ritesh. I wonder if Ritesh actually got the jump
Alpha
on
got spun.
Mohan.
And oh,
And
broken
also
wing.
got damage. There a safety car. No, no safety car. Good thing game. That's finally
Aditya,
one good
yeah.
decision you made. Arathia's gone.
Yeah.
Arathia's in P17
That,
along with
yeah.
Jose. I think there's contact
Yeah, I
there as
think
well
here's the
between
spinning
Arathia.
alpha. Here, the spinning alpha.
Yikes, that's definitely that's hard. That's just the worst outcome you can think for a Ferrari. Like one Ferrari just has to have a bad day in any F1 race whatsoever. Ah, that's definitely being damaged. Look at the way he's turning and
Hmm.
like he's just not got enough front grip. Oh, and that's another contact there. And yeah, it's just bringing the car
Oh,
into the pits. And
oh,
we see Williams.
oh,
Oh, there's contact.
oh, bro! I randomly
There's
went on
contact
ABD
between
seven.
Faisal. There's contact between Faisal and ABT, and that's the
I
worst
think it was
for
ABD's fault, right? Or
ABD.
did
Yeah,
Faisal
yeah, yeah,
ram
yeah.
ABD?
No, no, no. So ABD definitely, I think he braked way too late, and he just ran straight. And to save it, he had to put it to the right, which spun his car, and then Faizan hit him.
Yeah.
I don't think Faizan could have avoided that. To be honest, I think it's more ABD's mistake. I wouldn't say his fault. It's a mistake, but yeah, that's just unlucky, man. And
Yeah.
another virtual safety car. Oh my god, that was one hell of a jump to that scene because we saw it at the moment. I don't know how you shifted to that, but that was amazing to see it in action there by ABT. I think he was just trying to go for a move, and that's where he lost his braking. He completely, I don't think he locked his brake. I think he misjudged his braking point, and he went straight through.
Yeah.
Speeding under VSC. Come on,
Oh, why are these
Lean
guys fighting?
Sniper.
Hello? Oh, racing started. Okay, never mind. Wait.
Wait, okay, it started okay.
Yeah, I'm like, why are they fighting?
And Shubh Kumar is in P13. It's actually a very chaotic race considering the last few laps right now that we had. There's a lot of contact, more than what I expected, and yeah, definitely people are gonna go for moves. Look at that! Look at where Helium is. Helium's up in P4 already, and he's
Yeah.
very close to P. I think Helium's definitely a contender for a podium, if not the win right now.
Oh, Sai
As we
Tarun getting
see
close to
Sai
Ashray.
Tarun getting very close. Yeah, you're completely right on that, Ashray. He's gotten very close there. He's missed us his braking, and that's left him. And oh wow, you can see Slowy Red is definitely very slow right now. 3 seconds. He's gonna get overtaken by Helium. Helium is just waiting for the straight right now. And I don't think he needs to even wait for the straight. I think he needs just to wait for a hard braking corner. And I think he'll find it right now. As he does he go for the move on the inside? No, he goes for a better exit, lines the car perfectly, gets onto the throttle quickly, and now he's got it. Oh, that was a snap. But will he make it? Will he make it? Will he make it? And he gets blocked by the Alpha. That's smart defending from the Alpha right there as the Alpha goes wide. And now Helium is all over the
Sai Tarun
back
is gone.
again. Safety car. Oh, it's Sai Tarun and Dark Knight. They had contact. I think I know what happened. I think Sai Tarun definitely went for a move on the inside, and
Yeah, and
Dark
dragged
Knight.
Dark Knight along with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
that's something you can only see in Singapore, boys. Oh, jeez. I mean, the moment I saw that, I just knew what happened there. It's just, the thing clicks. But yeah, coming more towards like, Helium and that Alpha Romeo battle, that was getting spicy from both of them and it was so close. And you see, of course, Dark Knight going in for a new front wing. I wonder if the rations on the front wings are gonna run out today because we've just had 9 laps and so many front wing damages.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a complete wing gone. Yeesh.
There is 3 safety
And
cars in 10 laps. Or by that rate, we'll be at 9 safety cars by the end of the race.
And this is Tier 1, boys. I mean, come on, Tier 1. I mean, we used to be clean Tier 1. Let's see what we can do here. Come on. I mean, if another Ferrari gone and another Ferrari P15. Can someone give Ferraris a break, please? Please. Ferrari wasn't P1, man. P2, man. Like, come on. This is the curse, man. This is the curse of being a Ferrari driver.
Everywhere
This
you
is
go.
back to Alesi and Gerhard Berger. Those are the days. I mean, I don't think a lot of people know this, but I mean, Alesi and Berger were just cursed. Like, I've never seen any Ferrari driver have the worse luck than Alesi ever. Like, people think Leclerc is having bad luck. Alesi is the one you should be like pitying over. Like, the guy lost so many races that he could have won in Ferraris. I think the one thing I remember is, I think it was Monza. I don't know which year, but I think I remember Alesi was leading and it was a Ferrari 1-2 with Berger right behind him.
Mm.
And Alesi's camera flew off the car, hit Berger's suspension, retiring Berger from the race. So it was basically a Ferrari's camera that broke the other car. And on top of that, Alesi ended up retiring a few laps later as well. So it became
What?
from 1-2 to a DNF. Like that's what happened to Lazy. So I definitely know that Ferrari has some bad luck involved with some drivers. I think Schumacher was one of the few that didn't get the luck, like the bad luck curse,
Yeah.
but some drivers definitely did. Ah, man, come on. I mean,
Ah.
those cars were just so fragile. But I mean, I still love those cars because they were just very powerful machines and very light, but they were very fragile. Like imagine a camera taking out your suspension.
Yeah, I think it's not only that. It's the speed as well. Because my guess is if it's going down the street,
Yeah, yeah.
forget the camera hitting it. If anything, he will be hitting the camera, and that alone is enough force.
I mean, that probably explains why the Halo was introduced because, like, you're right. If they're going on the straights, right, anything falls off, imagine hitting like a driver in the helmet. I know the helmet is protected, but I mean, something at that speed could knock out a person as well.
Yeah, because there's the neck. No, like
Yeah,
forget the head. What if it hits the head really hard and forces the knockback on the head?
I think, I don't know. I hope the drivers' necks are built enough, to withstand it. I think Formula One is
They
definitely
definitely
safer
are.
nowadays. Yeah,
I
but
I, I remember seeing a
yeah,
video of Vasseur trying to, I think, wishing Carlos Sainz a happy birthday or something. There was a
and
birthday
his
cake.
neck just didn't go down.
He tried to push his
Yeah,
neck down into the cake. Bro's neck didn't budge at all.
he's like, bro, the Formula One car does a lot more than what you're doing
Yeah,
right now.
exactly,
What do you
dude.
think?
It's like, huh? There's a fly in my neck.
I mean, why did you think he'd do it? He'll be successful with the Formula One. I think he was successful with, Antonio Giovinazzi a few years back, but
Uh,
Giovinazzi was a mid-tier driver. This is Carlos Sainz, man. He's built on reflexes. He's driving a Ferrari car. He's not gonna like, get his face smashed by a cake. You can get the cake on his face. You can't get his neck on
yeah,
the cake.
yeah,
Like that's not possible.
yeah. This
I mean,
race,
but the routine, like the neck routine these guys go towards.
yeah,
So it's
it's
like they're building a
crazy.
muscle there. But I guess that's what you need to do because the G forces are so high with these cars. I mean, like the cornering speed of these cars is just insane. So yeah, I can imagine the G forces. What? Okay, that's slowly right. How's he in P1? Pre must have pitted, I
A
think.
lot of people pitted. We're all going on to
Did
Inters.
someone go? Wait, they gone actually on Inters?
Yeah,
Is it Inters right?
yeah.
Okay. All right. And I didn't notice it because of the sheer amount of safety cars that we had this race. That it's already gone to Inters. Okay, that's good. I think with more safety cars coming in, we could actually go on to the dries next. But that slow red coming out in B12, that's actually pretty. I mean, can we look at the tires, see who's on which tire?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's actually
I think Deepak
Dark
is
Knight.
drenched.
Dark Knight. Dark Knight. What did Slowy Red do? Did he actually stay a lap? Oh, he stayed 2 laps. Oh, what is Deepak doing? Okay, Deepak is hoping for rain to come down now. That's what he's hoping for. And if it does, that's like a high
I
IQ
think
move.
Deepak is hoping for buying 50 cars. Then no one like
Yeah.
him, and he'll get the win just like
yeah,
that.
that could happen. You know what? That actually could happen. I mean, judging by what's happening in the race in the past few laps, I think it's easy to. I think it's easy to say that Deepak would be winning this race by a safety car. Yeah, but I think that pit stop definitely cost Louis Red a lot, considering he's right behind Dark Knight, who had his front wing changed a few
Yeah.
laps ago, who was behind the pack by so much. That definitely cost him a lot. And ABD definitely on AI mode, trying to reach
Yeah.
the pack.
Safety
And
car
safety
is
car
in
is
there.
in this lap.
A man can hope.
But what happened to Helium? Again,
I think
the
everyone pitted.
the
I mean,
the
people.
whole grid is like completely scrambled now. Like Helium was up in P4, now in P10. Somehow Lean Sniper is in P3 right now. King James somehow is P4. I think King James was one of the ones who was facing the other side at one point of the race. What is this happening?
Oh
What is going on?
yeah,
Bro,
you're right. King James
explain.
up to
Like exactly like what is happening with this race? How is people up there? So it doesn't make sense, but I think
But one thing has
this is
stayed
gonna help them
constant is
improve.
that they're being near the bottom.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about Ferrari staying at the top. Oh my
Oh,
god.
Deepak got a bad start.
That's almost contact between Pri, and that was actually pretty decent move from Pri around the outside in turn 1. And Pri definitely gets a better launch as Deepak. Oh wait, he has to give the position back. I think that must have been an overtake on this thing.
Please,
Oh, on the curb.
descend.
What's this? What?
What's going on?
What? Oh, wait, Pri is coming
Oh,
back. Pri is coming back.
what's
Okay,
going on here?
Pri is definitely in the lead right now, that's sure. And Deepak is definitely eyeing for a move, but he's on the wrong compound, son. As we see King James going around the outside, very far to the outside, outside the track, might I say, and he gets the move done on King James. Oh, sorry, on Deepak. As Deepak is struggling for a grip, I think that tire is completely gone. And we see Ritesh DNF. That's another safety car, I think.
Please no.
Let's see.
The piece getting
And
sent into the wall.
Oh, geez, Deepak is not in racing conditions. He has to be very careful. There's contact between Catty. No, that's not Catty. That's Akash Solavane. And Deepak is definitely getting contact. Oh, he's made it worse. Oh, such sad endings for Deepak. But yeah, that's how the race goes when you're on the wrong side of tires. As King James in P2, unbelievable stuff from the Haas driver, facing the wrong side of the road by lap 5 in P2 by lap 13. That's a comeback story for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't
And
expect that. I was shocked to see him out there.
yeah, and we see Jose as well up there. Come on, like Jose. I mean, I think P is definitely going to get P1, but it's more about P2, P3, P4 right now. As Lean Sweeper comes in, a front wing change definitely for him, or is he going to gamble on the drives? I think it's too early for the drives.
Hey,
It's
there's
a
no. Is it? Wait, there's no
wait.
damage to them.
It's a drive through. It's a drive through. It's a drive through. Lean Sweeper had a
Ah.
drive through, yeah. And we have here Catty definitely, and Akash, and very close. I think Catty is definitely gonna clear this field very quickly. He's just waiting for the right time, or he's waiting for the right move. He doesn't want to go guns blazing very quickly. As we
Yeah.
see the Xbox boys pushing in that Red Bull right there is definitely a Max Verstappen Perez moment right here. I think you can guess who is who. And Catty again, the traction, control on the throttle input is amazing from the Red Bull driver. That you can see Jose has to back out of it. Catty just positions his car perfectly into the corner, and there's nothing that Jose could do about that. As Jose ends up losing 5 tenths in just a span of few turns, but will have some split stream effect going on here. But I think he's just too far back to go for a move, as he's all as Akash is all over the back of Jose right now, and he's eyeing for a move. Will he go around the inside? No, he's just a bit too far back to go for a lunge right now. He wants to wait until Jose makes a mistake, and that's what he's waiting for. And why is there a caution sign? What's happening to the Aston Martin of Deepak? I think he must have had a spun or something like that. But yeah, as we're on board Pre the Pro hitting the fastest lap of the race, of course that's what we expect. With the clean air, definitely with no DRS, I think there's no one that's going to challenge Pre for the fastest lap at this stage of this race.
Yeah.
And we're like the fact that the midfield is very close is decent because we're getting some action, and I love the fact that the racing is getting very intense as well. The lines picked by every driver is different, so they're already trying to find grip on parts of the track where the grip isn't even available. Like they're just trying to experiment a lot more with where the grip could be, where the car's faster, where could they get a few tenths to get the overtake done. And I think this is the moment around the inside, and Akash Solavane thinks better of it. I think he's being patient right now, a quality that most F1 drivers don't have. And he gets an amazing entry into the turn. He gets the traction control is awesome. And look at that. I think that's and that's contact for the driver as he hits the wall. I hope there's no damage. But Akash, I mean, he shot for the stars there and definitely didn't work out in his favor. I think that was a move that would have been on the cards if he braked a little early. I think he braked a little too late there.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely damaged his car. As we
Definitely
finally
damage.
see Aradhya Gupta getting up to P6. Finally, Aradhya, you're back in the game. Let's go for P3 now. I mean, people are catching up to Jose very quickly. I think Jose is definitely struggling with the car right now. He doesn't have the race pace, even though he has the position, not the race pace. Surprisingly, though, King James definitely maintaining the race pace with Catty there. I did not expect to see that. But King James is up there and he's fighting against Catty to keep that P2 in position. Yeah, and what do you think about the race right now, Sam? It's like,
I'm just glad there's racing going on right now, honestly.
fair enough. I think that's definitely an assumption people make right now is no safety car for the time being. And as I say that, that's a yellow flag. I don't like that. And as we go on board again, Helium, who is getting closer to Jose. But again, you don't want to make the same mistake that Akash Anwani did. He
Oh,
went, okay, yeah,
was the
Helium
defending well there?
definitely is very quick, but Jose, I think Jose has done a good job defending this race. He's being very, very safe with his defense. He's not going over the border, and he's positioning his car perfectly to the point where it's getting very difficult to overtake someone. I think the only legitimate place that someone can overtake this car is in, let's say, turn 7, not turn 7, sorry, turn 14. I
Hmm.
think that's where someone is getting a good enough run to get this done. And I think what Jose is struggling more with is his corner exits. I think he's struggling definitely with, sorry, not corner exits, corner entry. He's definitely positioning his car more towards corner exit so he can maximize throttle output. But yeah, he's definitely, whatever he's doing, he's keeping his car in the fight, and that works. And as we see Helium doing for the move on the inside, he gets the job done as Jose has to concede. And that's a beautiful move by Helium, who's up in P4 right now.
Yeah,
And on
do you think that
Jose
chicane?
gets overtaken twice. It's Aradia in P5
Oh
now.
yeah.
Jose just. Oh, wait, they're still fighting through. Jose and Aradia still on the fight for P5. Ooh, that's close for Aradia and Jose, but Jose is not ready to give up this fight. But will he be able to keep the car behind up until turn 7? It's all about turn 7 right now. That's the next straight on the line. Can Jose keep the Ferrari behind? He's doing a good enough job defending against cars that are clearly faster than him. But Aradia definitely gets a bit of oversteer right around turn 6 there. And sorry, turn 7. Sorry, that's at turn 5. Yeah, turn 5. Damn, these turn corners. Yeah, I mean, I've not been a seasoned commentator for a while now, so excuse my turn science. But yeah, it's I think turn 5 as far as I remember. But yeah, definitely some oversteer for the car there as we see the Ferrari struggling a little, but I think he's definitely got enough space for P5 at this stage. I'm not sure about P4 or P3 because King James and Helium look to be in a good standing at this stage. It's more about whether King James can stay stay with Catty or stay close to Catty to have some of the benefit of a split stint. I think that's going to be impossible since King James is falling by a second to lap and Helium is catching King James as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Helium is set loose right now. He will go catch up with the drivers ahead of him. Oh, even retired.
Hey, the people leaving the session. Yeah, I think he must have retired. Yeah. Did he crash? No, I don't think he crashed. I mean, kudos for Deepak too for staying. I mean, it's and why is Akash Sarwani on Mets? What's happening there, Akash?
Yeah, I'm no clue.
I don't think it's that well enough. I think these drivers are doing a fantastic job on these inters. And as we've known in real life, inters are the better compound compared to the Wets. I don't know what Akash Sarwani is hoping for. It's like an Ocon move in Zandvoort, but with less sense, I guess. Okay, never mind. Shiv Kumar is also on Wets. Are we missing out on something? Is it getting very, very wet right now?
It
I mean,
looks like
I
it's
don't
raining
expect it
more
to.
actually, I think. It does look like as if it is raining more.
Is it time for extreme wets? I'm not sure, but I mean, if it is, then we should see cars aquaplaning. The cars aren't aquaplaning yet. They're able to maintain tire temps up until this point. So I think it's more about, keeping your car in control rather than, oh, that's getting very close between James and the Helium. Yeah, Helium's definitely got more pace. It's just more about overtaking these cars right now. That's what's big. That's what's that is what is more demanding because you have to be very patient. As we see, King James definitely using more of the track berth, and I think Helium definitely focusing more on corner entry rather than exit. He is making. Oh, and that's an amazing move. Like that's a send
That
right there
was a
from
send
Helium.
and a half, but it is a
Yeah.
bit on edge. I can't lie.
I don't think it's too much on edge. I think it's still legal because I mean it's in the rain, buddy. Like
Yeah.
without DRS, there has to be some moves that you have to go for, and I think those are the moves that we dream to see. And I mean, it caught King James off guard, and I think he left the door open. That's where Helium sort of stuck in, and my God, keeping the car in the track with that move in there, it's just awesome to see that. That's pretty, pretty beautiful move right there from Helium. I won't lie right there. That's probably move of the day for me. It gave me Daniel Rick like vibes. Just seeing those cars just being sent
But yeah, I
back
think
when
now
Dan.
Helium will try to catch up to Kate as quickly as possible. He's on the podium
Yeah,
right now.
does he have the pace? Does he have the pace to catch up to Cathy though?
Well, only one way to find out.
True. Let's keep an eye on the Delta. Oh yeah, he definitely look at that 2 tenths in one corner.
Yeah.
It looks like yeah, that's that. Oh yeah, damn heck yeah, Helium is on something else right now. Helium is on helium right now. He is flying out there right now, and he's definitely catching up to Catty. You can see he's a few tenths a lap, but I think he can. If he can build up a bit more speed, he can definitely catch up to Caddy by the end of this race. And then it's a fight for P2 there.
Yeah, definitely. Like right now, the racing has been decent because there hasn't been another safety car. Let's just hope it stays like this for the next
Yeah, I
half
think
round.
the guys in the midfield are struggling with tire grip, so they're hoping to switch to the extremes, hoping that would help
Yeah,
the
I think it's
scenario. But let's
definitely
say if
racing
the
more, raining more, I think.
but then these guys out here in the top are very confident in these guys right now. They're not aquaplaning at least. So I think it's on the limit right
See,
now. I
4 seconds
wonder if
slower.
it's then who?
He's 4 seconds slower than his fastest lap.
Damn, okay. All right. Can we
Oh,
check
Mohan
what
also
time
pitting?
Jose is doing? No, yeah, he's bidding. Okay, can we check lap times for these cars? Like at least Lead Sniper or Jose. Can we see what lap times they're doing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Lane Sweeper definitely going for a move. Okay, that's a spin for Jose. Is it the right tire? He just aquaplaned off.
Yeah.
I think that must have been a mistake, but let's see what that is. But yeah, yeah, definitely tire. People going for the wets right now. Wow, that's interesting. It
Yeah.
is interesting.
The coordinators is
I
going to go for a very interesting weather.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if this is gonna mix up the grade a bit more because if it does, my God, this would be another amazing race. Because if there's another mix up into the field because of this rain, it could make sense. But I think coming more towards the point of Zanderwood, I think the the point of pitting on pitting on extreme bets is partially useless because most of the people just stay out and aquaplane off, crash into crash into the roads, and either it's like a safety car or a straight flag basically. And by that point, if you pit later in the safety car conditions, it's much more easier for you to retain your position.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
but it is a risk either way. You
yeah,
risk
true.
losing a position, you pit late, you risk crashing off.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely the case there.
But yeah, but I think Helium is catching up to Cat by one. It's like 5.5 seconds. Akash.
Yeah, no, Helium is definitely not flying right now. I
Mm,
think that's it for Helium. Oh, and that's oversteer. I would say oversteer. He lost traction on the curb right there. As Akash Nirvana is struggling a lot on those tires. I don't think those tires are the right ones. I don't know why, but those tires just don't feel like. I think they're sliding more than the inters. The grooves are just not working in these conditions.
yeah, it does seem like it.
There's a yellow flag. Is that Akash Nirvana? Who's that?
I don't think it is.
I think it's the Mercedes. Is it Mohan?
Nope, I think it's fine. It's
Yeah,
clear now.
it's some person behind the Mercedes right now. I think that's King James, but I'm not sure. But leave it. It's fine. It doesn't matter too much. The thing is, I don't know what these circles are right now. I can't guess right now.
Too many blue.
Yeah, yeah. The blue, there's black. What's the gray? I think gray is a horse.
No,
I think that's why I think.
gray is Alpha Tauri.
Okay, then it was definitely an AlphaTauri in the yellows.
Half is white.
Okay, that's that sounds very racy when you say it like that. Horse is white, and on more on the fact that they're American, that
Oh
just
my
makes it more
god.
sus.
Don't take it out of context. But hey, wait, hold on. Katy made a mistake. He lost a lot of time to the P and lost time to Helium as well.
Yeah, I think I think that
Oh,
we. Oh
Helium
wait,
is.
helium is pitting. Helium is spitting for the extreme pets. Okay, this is interesting now. Now the race is about to start because here's one of the front runners actually deciding that the extreme pets
King
is the
James.
tires
Wait,
to
King
go
James.
on.
Oh, never mind. I was going to be like, King James overtook him in the pits. No way.
No, I think that'll be too much considering that it's the second gap.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think if this is the right call, King James might be able to overtake Arathia and Catty. I think that's on the books right now for King James. If this is the right call. If this is the right call. That's a big if though.
Yeah. I think King James is already ahead of Aradia. Catty, he might be able to overtake, but I think he'll definitely get Aradia. Catty will be tough, but I think Helium pitted early to undercut Catty.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's on the books right now. He thinks the undercut is the better way to go. And let's see what Helium can do because we are, these could be driver mistakes that we were seeing on the extreme bets. Let's see how Helium takes each of these corners. I mean, how cautious he is. What time is he doing? We'll have to compare all that right now and get ready on the sector times there
Yeah.
because Helium is about to cause a cascade of pits if he's quicker than the Inters.
Yeah,
And that's all
definitely.
we're looking for right now.
Especially in the top
It,
order.
yeah, we need to check this sector times. Is he getting quicker?
That's the
Well,
thing
I don't
in
think he'll
F1.
get.
In F1, they won't show per
Oh,
sector. They say,
there's a car out. There's a
"Oh
DNF.
no, this if it's safety car is going to ruin Helium."
Yeah, I don't think it's a safety car though. It looks like he's retired in the pits. Yeah,
Lane
it looks like
slipper
he's
is
retired in the pits. Yeah.
yeah, you're ready, right? Pitch.
Okay, that's a
Oh,
decent move.
pre-pitted for wets.
Okay,
Catty also
now
pitted,
more
so
about more about the
all three of
undercut
them are
right now.
pitting. All
I
of
don't
them
think
pitting.
it's undercutting. It's not gonna undercut.
Uh,
It's too
Catty,
difficult of an undercut. Yeah. No, that's not an undercut. That's definitely an overcut that
hold on.
works. Wait. Oh my god, it's going very close. Oh my god.
Wait, don't forget, Catty has to stick to
Oh
the.
wait, it's an undercut.
Oh, it actually
It is an
worked.
undercut. It worked for Helium is up in P2 and Cat is up in P3, and that is a 4 second undercut. A
Yeah,
massive advantage
and he,
for Helium there. And King James Arathia. Easy,
he
easy win for King James. Yeah.
yeah, and he even caught up by like 5 seconds to B as well.
Yeah, now the race is on. It all depends on whether Helium can find enough pace to be quicker than Pri, and that's a tall order considering Pri has been inch perfect in his race craft in this
Yeah,
race. Unless Pri makes a mistake, I don't see that
King James
happening.
penalty, 3
King James
seconds.
gets a penalty. He's 7 seconds off Aradhya. If he can just maintain pace right now, that's an easy P4 for the Haas. And considering what he had, the issue he had at the start of this race, I think P4 is not bad at all for King James and the Haas.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is going to be an interesting race, or it can be a very boring race if everyone just stays at wherever they are right now.
I think it just made it interesting because of Helium's undercut. Going from God knows what, P18 to P2, not bad, Helium.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
Let's take a look at a couple of comments while we're at it right now. Nope, no comments yet.
yeah, I think the Challenger series doesn't have enough of a viewpoint right now, but it is certainly getting good for racing. I
Yeah,
wonder, I wonder if it's gonna go, a little less intensity on the rain, if it's gonna shift a little less towards, I don't think dry is a possibility, but I think Inters could be a possibility again. And if there's another undercut involved, we might actually see a fight for P1 if that's possible again. But it's very close to the end of the race right now, so getting to that position might be difficult here.
Yeah, definitely. I think only 6, 7 more laps left. I think three. Yeah, he's not the kind of guy to lose the second per lap. But he will at least lose more than that because he'll have to catch up to him. So like, I think it should be an easy win for Pri unless he does make a mistake.
Yeah, I think it's more about keeping the car under control now for Pri, and he has said that before. So Pri is definitely one of the few contenders for the win right. Not one of the few. He is the contender for the win right now, and he is definitely on slot to win this race. But it just depends on Singapore and whether it's nice to him.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
there are some tracks and there are some curses. Let's not talk about curses and Monza at the same time because you might just jinx Ferrari again, who is in up in P5.
Ah. Oh, Jose is 11th now. Was it not Deepak or
Just to
something? Yeah, Jose is
yeah, yeah,
11th.
yeah. Jose went from hero to zero, might I say,
Oh my
considering his
god, you
name.
kill me, man.
I, I verbally vomited in my mouth after I said that. I just knew how cringe it might sound,
Yeah,
but we'll get in for it. But yeah, definitely from defending for P4 up until P11, not the best outcome for his race. And yeah, Dark Knight definitely right on P7.
yeah,
I think it's getting dull right now. I think everyone's sort of in the safe zone, in the comfort zone. Nobody's pushing too much because they're
yeah.
already slotted
Honestly,
in for the
if they are probably
final laps.
tired after such a long race in Singapore, especially if you're in a wheel, it's one of the most demanding race tracks in the calendar. Just because the amount of turns there is, the amount of tight turns, the amount of fast turns, and on top of that, the safety cars make it so long as well. So they are definitely tired, like I am.
And on top of that, it's raining, which means you have to, correct your steering every single time you push your car into a turn. You have
Yeah.
to counter steer to perfect it. Yeah, that's just too
And yeah,
hectic
and
for the
feathering the
drivers.
throttle is actually quite tiring, because you have to you have to you have to concentrate so hard to make sure that you're actually feathering the throttle. That's why being on a safety cars can actually be kind of painful for your leg, because like you're just trying to be very gentle with your leg, and it just kind of goes numb if you're not really like doing much with it.
True, but I feel like, I remember when I used to be in long races, I think I noticed
Oh,
this in
hold up, Helium made a mistake, or Cat is faster than him. I'm not too sure which one it is, because Cat is catching up to him.
wait. Yeah, Catty's catching up. Helium definitely made a mistake. Look at that gap, 9 seconds. Looks
Yeah.
like it's a mistake from
He
Helium.
lost two.
Pretty rare,
Oh,
but
Cat hits the wall there. I'm not sure why he wants to kiss the wall there.
I think Catty definitely loves wall contact. I've seen him
Yeah.
hit the wall a few times today, so
He
yeah.
should keep his contract to books at this time, though, can't lie. Anyways.
Okay. All right. Okay, fair enough. Um, let's let's move on. And I was about to mention something. I don't know what I was about to say something. I forgot about it completely. Your bookstore threw me off.
Like that wall threw him off.
Damn.
Uh, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think five more
Salesforce.
laps left. I think we'll be pushing hard. Oh, ERS is quite low. Both of their
Yeah,
ERS is
both of their
low.
ASs are low. Let's move
Yeah.
on to Pre.
Oh, he's just chilling.
Pre has a lot of yeah. He's in the Max Verstappen mode, man. Come on.
Yeah.
This is not fair
Ooh,
to
this is
put Pre
close
in a
as well.
Red Bull.
Red is 4 seconds out, and he has a 3 second penalty.
Yeah, definitely. I forgot about that. It's a Ferrari versus another Ferrari. Let's see what
A white
happens.
Ferrari, as some might say. Oh,
Again with the
now hold up.
wide.
No, but that's an actual thing. What people call the
I
hearts.
know, I know, I know. My head is in another space right now. And the fact that they're American again, it's just funny. It's just funny to me, man.
Yeah, Cat is slowly but
You know,
surely catching up to him, dude. Like, what? Fair enough. think he might give Helium his own medicine with a send down the line.
I mean, I'm ready to see that. If he does that, I
Yes,
will
please. I also really
enjoy.
want to see it.
It reminds me, that race in China. This was back when we were in 2021. It was a move between
2021 did not have
Aerodave.
China. I hate to break the bubble there.
Yeah, sorry.
2021 did not have China.
Wait, did not have China. Did not
In the real calendar or the game?
the game. Yeah, the game.
Oh, the
I'm
game.
not, I'm just talking about the game right now.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, I think I remember someone went for a move on the inside at the last turn, at the straight towards the last
Oh,
hairpin.
HB.
Who was it? HB went for a move on Aero, I think, and
Yeah,
that was
oh,
a
that
cent
was
and a half there. Yeah.
crazy, dude.
I
That,
want something like that from Caddy. Like that was definitely like an insane move from HP, but he somehow made it work.
but yeah, I
Of
think,
course, I think he got a penalty after the race,
I
but yeah,
think he
that
ended
in
for a
the
penalty
in the
because
race,
that
yeah,
was ridiculous. But yeah,
yeah, but in the race, you didn't even see it come, and he just sends it on the inside, just goes for that move, and I think he partially made it stick, but
no, but
it was the fact that he didn't
he
leave
like
space.
bump and pass. He
Yeah,
passed
but
his way
my
through.
God.
It's crazy how I remembered it.
Yeah, because you were commentating,
I
as
was
far as I
commentating as
remember,
well. Oh
you
yeah,
lost
I think
your,
it's me and
you
Slay.
know,
Yeah, rest in peace, Slay.
yeah, you and Slayer lost it
Yeah,
completely
he's
after
not
seeing
dead,
that
but
move.
he's dead in my heart.
I
It's
forgot
crazy.
HP raced.
Yeah,
There's so many,
it's
people
just a
from
lot of
Xbox
people
that
now
aren't
just
racing
generally
anymore.
growing up, kind of studying and university and stuff. So yeah, I
I
think
mean, yeah.
it's expected.
I mean, imagine how insane it would have been with this game, with Aerodave and all the others
Yeah,
involved. Like
definitely.
Aerodave used to dominate Xbox, and I mean,
Yeah,
Pre is on par with these people on the PC. Imagine, and Aerodave used to dominate Pre. So
yeah,
imagine if Aerodave was in here, like nobody would be winning at this stage.
definitely. Everything was crazy, dude. That guy was another level. It really begs the question: could he have really gone like could he have gone semi pro even pro? Like I think it is with more time and only PC because going pro on Xbox
Yeah,
basically being something because like
yeah,
anything Xbox people will just invalidate this scalability. Oh, I rather just threw away before by getting a penalty.
yeah, yeah. He did. Ferrari P5, let's go.
It is a
I'm happy with
Ferrari.
it. As long as he's not DNF'd or he's not in P13, I'm
It is a
happy enough.
Ferrari and a
I'll
Raya
take
moment.
it.
Man, Catty, please catch up to him, please.
I think he is. Look at that 7/10, man.
Now
Come on.
he's hanging
He's
around
getting
there.
it.
He gets close, then he falls behind. Gets close, falls behind, which is expected. Oh, he went deep there. Okay, good.
Yeah, he went very
But
deep
now
there. He's
Catty is
lost a
going
lot
deep
of.
here.
Ah, yeah, Catty went
He
deep.
did that.
Damn,
He
Catty.
did that the second time in the row. Last time also did the same thing. Oh, this is good,
It's
bro.
more about like with this track, you just don't have to go deep.
It struggles to
The
follow
moment
you.
you go deep,
It's hard to follow someone.
that's it.
Definitely.
And yeah, with this track, you just have to go for a dive. Like, there's no other way you can go for a move. You have to commit to a dive and send one in there. Of course, you can't go for a dive when you're 7/10s behind. You have to wait until you're closer. But yeah, let's see what can happen.
Oh, Helium is very slow in that corner.
Oh, Helium just made a mistake there. He went way too wide there, lost traction, and now has invited Catty all over the back of his car. And Catty's definitely on it. He just needs to keep his car in control.
Yeah.
And it's 3/10s now, 2/10s, 2.5, 2.7, 2.8. Now needs to master the exit. Again, Helium goes wide. Definitely sacrificing a lot of corner entry right now. And it's getting very close between Catty and Helium. Can Catty and Helium... Can Catty actually go for a move? Yeah, Catty's definitely being very safe. He's
Yeah.
prioritizing corner entry. And...
Oh, he got better exit.
Oh, he's definitely got a good better exit. Can he...
Send it.
Helium is
Oh.
he's defending. But he's sacrificing his exit now.
Exactly.
Helium has sacrificed his exit. Can he go for a move on the inside? Oh, he's too stupid, too far back. And again, he goes wide. He makes another mistake. Helium struggling
Yeah.
on those wets right now.
This is definitely very interesting. Catty needs to be a bit more brave than that, I have to say. Helium
I
was doing
mean,
a
be
very good
brave
job
and
at
make another
defending.
mistake.
Yeah. Don't go white here now, please. Oh, I didn't go white. I
Oh,
actually
yeah, he
went
did wide here. Yeah, Catty didn't went wide, but Helium is definitely going wide there. It's more about this corner now. This corner has to be perfect, and it's not. It's not perfect for Catty. Yeah, that's just not it.
Oh, that's
That's
not
not
too
what you
bad.
want to do.
Fighter is not too bad. The fighter is not too bad. Oh,
Oh,
Helium
Helium
going.
makes.
I think Helium going wide is spot of cat.
Yeah. Oh, damn! This is getting way too interesting right now.
Yeah,
These two
dude.
are just pushing it
Will Helium
to
go
the
wide here
limit
again?
right now.
He did. He did.
Yes, he did. He didn't make a mistake. He made a mistake. Catty.
Yeah,
Caddy
cat.
getting okay, he's getting caught up, man. He got
Yeah.
caught up with the position of the
He's just
car,
the wrong
but
car in
he's
the
got
wrong
a
place.
chance. Oh, damn! Helium is but this thing helps the driver behind because you can see that the driver ahead is making mistake.
Yeah.
He's getting nervous, and the mind game is what is more important right now. And Helium is definitely not playing the mind game properly right now.
Yeah.
You can see that Cat is on his
He's
mind right now.
absolutely
He's very
losing it.
worried about it.
But yeah, I think Helium is very lucky this is wet because, like,
Yeah,
does
if it was dry, he would have been. Oh wait, someone's on the intern. Weird.
interesting. It's raining even more than before, so I'm not sure what he's doing there. But I mean,
That's
I guess it's maybe it's because of the wet he lost it there, but it's because since it's wet, it's hard for Catty to overtake him also.
Yeah, it has to be a send, man. It
It
can't
has
be
to be a
anything
send.
apart from a send. Oh yeah, Cat is losing grip as well. Look at the corrections. He's 9 tenths behind now. I think
Yeah.
he's lost his pace. I'm just sad because Catty was so
No, but
close.
that's the thing. It's the wet where like he just needs maybe even one corner to catch up. See, just this corner. You look at how much he caught up.
True, definitely.
Oh, that curve through
Oh,
him. Oh my
wow.
god. I think he might have pulled a bit there. Oh, very good corner by Catty here.
Yeah, but it's just Helium. He knows if he doesn't make a mistake, he just needs to put the car in the middle of the track, and then Catty can't even overtake.
Yeah. Catty is
Oh,
getting
look at that
really.
Helium.
Yeah. Catty is getting very
Catty is
good.
definitely maintaining it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Ashley.
He's getting really good mid corner rotation out of his car.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Then looking at Helium, how he's struggling, Catty is definitely on the faster car right now. Like, there's no question about that. Oh,
Yeah.
look at the mistake from Helium. Like, he has to correct so much. I think Helium is also getting tired of correcting his car. I think his arms are getting a little.
Yeah, even
Ah,
Catty is losing it right now. Like even he is not confident with his car right now. He's making mistakes. He was so confident before, but I think ever since he had that close call with Helium, I think he's just too scared.
does he have like a? I don't think there's a lot of damage
No,
from like
no way, no
contact like
way.
that.
If he had damage, he wouldn't even stick to him in the first place.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's over.
Oh,
That's over for him. That's wraps. That's
I
wraps.
mean, anything could happen in Formula One. Anything could happen.
Yeah, but fair enough.
I mean, considering people who aren't making a mistake, look at that gap between Pre and Helium. Like,
Yeah, I wanted to mention
it's just
that, but I
14
realized that would
seconds.
just be it'd just be sad to mention that from a racing perspective.
Yeah, but from a dominating perspective, damn. Like,
Yeah,
not a single mistake, not a single. I mean, inch perfect throughout the entire race. Pre has been perfect
bro, I
in
just
his
realized, yeah,
quali.
you're right about Katy doing the perfect certain driver simulation. Oh, did he make a
Yeah.
mistake?
Oh, yeah, he did. He kind of did. He was very. But he's going to get a better corner
I think
exit
he
right now.
lost.
That's
He
what
lost it
it's
under
going to be.
braking, but Cat is still way too far behind.
I think Helium knows Cat is way too far behind, so he's more focused on corner exits right now.
Yeah,
Like, if you're looking at Helium, he's facing a lot less, he's pushing a lot less on corner exits right now. So he knows he's got
yeah,
a
they
gap
just
to
said it,
maintain and
man.
he's playing
Believe it.
right now. No,
Believe in
please don't.
yourself.
Not from here. Look at that. Helium's not making a mistake. He's in more clear of a mind. As we're speaking, Pre definitely wins the race in P1. He's already crossed the line, followed by Helium, finally in P2 and Cat in P3. That's a hard-fought victory hard-fought P2 for Helium and a hard-fought P3 for Catty as well, coming from back.
Oh, what did they? What did they? What did
And Aradhya spins!
Oh no, I think he did that
And
on
he
purpose,
crosses
man.
the
I think
line.
he did that on purpose. I think he did that on purpose.
I don't think so, considering that he almost wasn't about to make it to the line.
No, he definitely did that on purpose. Because there's something else I would do as well.
I know you do it. I think I remember seeing your car like spinning and crashing and dying.
But
One of these days, you're actually not gonna finish because of it.
I won't finish because I'm not even playing this game in the first place.
Yeah, true. Oh, damn, that's serious.
Slow is just vibing out there, weaving left and right because he secured P7.
I mean, it's not bad considering half the field
See, I told
died
you it's a
today.
purpose. Everyone likes to do it.
Half the field died today. Come on. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, it is Singapore, so yeah, fair enough.
And we will get the Mandem into the VC for an interview really quick, so bear with us on that. We'll slowly look through the standings and check everything and go through the order.
Okay, wait. Are we going through the order right now? Let's see.
Yes.
It's pre and P1, of course. P2 is Helium. P3, Catty. P4, James. P5, Aradhya. P6, Dark Knight. Slowy in P7. What Deepak in P8. P9 is for Mohan. Jose gets P10. Akash Sona in P11. Lee Sniper P12. Shubh Kumar P13. ABD P14. Govind SSR in P15. Ritesh in P16, Faizan in P17, and Sai Tarun in P18, BK19 in P19, and last but not the least, Wizard in P20. That's it. That's our race, folks. And that was Singapore GP. Surprisingly interesting in the middle, got very interesting at the end, but a pretty decent finish.
Yeah, definitely. A really rocky start, but I would say good end to the race.
Yeah, I think they were just, it was just natural selection. They were just weeding out the slower drivers, DNFing them out, and then they're like, yeah, let's just now focus on racing.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get the drivers in to the VC for the interview. So give us a second to get the drivers in to the VC. Yeah,
Do we have the drivers in here right now?
we only have a helium in. We're gonna get the other two in real quick. Okay, we're
Okay.
gonna get Catty as well.
Yeah, I think we have Pri and Kat here as well. That's
We
it.
have
It's
helium and
all
Cat.
three
Oh,
of our
yeah, all three of us
drivers.
did. Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
let's start
Yeah.
with third. Catty, man, that race was definitely a roller coaster for you. As when the race started, you fell down the order with Aradhya. Then then helium undercut you. Then you caught up to him, but just weren't able to get past him. Take us through your race, Catty.
I
Yeah,
think he's
sorry.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
it. He's
yeah,
it.
couldn't hear you. It's a bit disappointing, honestly. I know it sounds very odd to say, but I genuinely thought I had the pace to challenge Pri for a while
Ah,
because I was matching him at some points, but like he's just way too consistent. So, I mean, GG
yeah,
to him, GG to Helium as well.
yeah,
Uh, he drove really, really well, especially at the end. It was a very, very fun battle.
yeah.
And yeah, that's all.
We're surprised we didn't try to send it a few times, especially at that first rate where you were so close to him.
I mean, Really, I mean, I saw him struggling under braking a lot at like one or two particular corners. Um, and like could tell visibly I had much better acceleration.
Mm.
But I didn't want to just send it like a maniac because I
Yeah.
don't want to ruin his race or my race.
Fair
Build a
enough.
decent result.
Fair enough. Elam, what about you? You didn't qualify well, but somehow you were able to fight your way through the race and get a P2 finish.
Yeah, that was not a good race for me, very honestly, even though I got P2.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, not at all happy with the coordinators with all of this weather forecast and whatever they've done.
Mm.
I wanna spew out a lot of curses at them that would probably get me banned in this Discord server.
Do it,
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
no, I mean it's dumb. I mean, I'm going to name names. Obviously, Tanish is he does this all the time. He finds it fun, but it ruins our time. Like we have been on the game for 2 hours. It started at 8. It's 10 now. So
Yeah.
it's not a joke. You cannot just make us do everything just because it's fun for you, while you sit and not even see anything and not even be in the VC and not do anything.
Yeah.
This is not funny. It's fine, ठीक है, एक दो बार it's fine. But like doing it continuously, putting such things, when you know the game is that bugged, it is so bugged, it always has something to do. Kuch na kuch, something or the other thing happens. But yeah, it's fine. Okay, it was not a good race. I did not have any pace. I just did a good strategy call in the end by undercutting Catty.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, another race like this, and I'm gonna obviously gonna quit in the middle because this is too much of time taking, and I do not
Yeah,
agree with this.
it is definitely a time sink, and I think generally it is very tough on the drivers as well to focus on for 2 hours. And yeah, it is
Yeah,
definitely a very big challenge for the drivers. And I think the coordinators will have a rethink about this, as I think I've heard them mention after the tier 2 race. So let's hope this is a good learning point for them.
Yeah, but
yes.
ending on a decent note, I think Helium, I think the highlight from your race, I think from the entire race was your move on King James at the end. Like that send of a, I wouldn't say it's a proper dive, but it was like a Daniel Ricciardo like dive to get that position in P3. How was it like? Were you planning on it, or did you just see the moment and you just went for it?
By the second half of the straight, I saw that I was gaining a lot. So I
Mm.
thought I should probably go for it. And I knew that I was braking very late for that corner and able to make the corner. But on that instant, I don't think I did very well. I did keep it on the track, but I don't know how much space I gave King James at the end. But yeah, it was at the very last moment kind of move. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of us thoroughly enjoyed that because we didn't expect to see it and we just saw it come through. And I was like, is he gonna make the corner? You did. I don't think there was a lot of space left, but he did make the corner somehow. So I didn't even expect that because of the way the dive came from so far back. But that was pretty decent move and yeah, pretty entertaining race from our perspective because we knew you were gonna come, charge from the back towards the front and pretty entertaining throughout that aspect. And the strategy calls, the undercut worked so well with Catty, and that probably made the race even more interesting. And a pretty decent job from you at the end of the day, Helium. So congratulations on
Thank you.
people.
Thank you.
Moving on to P1, Ashray. P1 is none other than P the Pro. Definitely inch perfect throughout the race. I don't even think of seeing a single mistake from Pri. I mean, Pri, come on, you dominated that race. What's going through your head? How did you have fun in that race, or were you bored by it? What happened?
No, yeah, no. I think the pace was I had incredible pace. I think in the second on the wets at the end there, but then I think the first half, there was like I think three safety cars came in the first 11 laps, and we didn't get like a single full lap of racing, and that was really frustrating because I mean we were just basically driving behind a safety car for 11 laps for um just wasting a lot of time. And yeah, that was a bit frustrating. And clearly I don't know who it was, I don't know what people were doing, but some people need to um learn how to race wheel to wheel but in the wet. But it is what it is. Second, then after that on the inters, once we actually got to race on the inters, it was my pace was also quite good. Right off the safety car restart, I think I overtook Deepak into turn 1, but then I got an illegal overtake, so that was a bit,
we saw that.
yeah. So that was very annoying because I think an Alpine behind me or someone had overtaken me as well while I was giving the position back. But
Yeah.
then, yeah, I don't know, something happened between Deepak and him, and I was just able to
And
kind
you
of
got
switch
the
back there.
position, yeah.
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 So after that, then I was just driving at home, taking it easy, and I didn't really get bored. I think I quite enjoyed driving it, but yeah, just the first half of the race was a complete mess.
Yeah, we can definitely agree with you on that because doing the
Yeah.
safety car,
Yeah,
We saw it all.
it was very
literally
frustrating.
the first half, first third of the race was just us having a podcast of a real life
Of
F1.
our own.
Yeah, very frustrating it was, but I think overall it was a second part. I quite enjoyed driving in the wet, so yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was quite fun.
Well, I think all in all, it was a very interesting race, a very chaotic race, and yeah, I think that is all for today, folks. Next week we will be coming back with our next race in the Challenges series, and it will be around the same time, maybe a slight change in time due to the Singapore GP race in IRL. So yes, do come around to watch us race next week as well, and see you then. Bye bye. This is Ashray signing off, and with me, Haphazardking.